Khat is a natural stimulant from the catha edulis plant that is cultivated in the Republic of Yemen and most of the countries of East Africa. Its young buds and tender leaves are chewed to attain a state of euphoria and stimulation. Khat is an evergreen shrub, which is cultivated as a bush or small tree. The leaves have an aromatic odor. The taste is astringent and slightly sweet. The plant is seedless and hardy, growing in a variety of climates and soils. Khat can be grown in droughts where other crops have failed and also at high altitudes. Khat is harvested throughout the year. Planting is staggered to obtain a continuous supply. The Khat plant is known by a variety of names, such as Khat and Gad in Yemen, Khat and Had in Somalia, and Chad in Ethiopia. It is also known as jaba in the Oromo language, miraa in Uganda, and as miraa in Kenya. In the African Great Lakes region, where catha edulis is in some areas cultivated, it is known as miraa, mahulo and mirangi. It also goes by various descriptive names, such as Abyssinian tea, Somali tea, miraa, Arabian tea, jima, and kafta in its endemic regions of the Horn of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. In South Africa, the plant is known as Bushman's tea. The plant is also known as chat tree and flower of paradise. The legality of Khat varies by region. In many countries, Khat might not be a specifically controlled substance but may nevertheless be illegal under more general laws. It is a specifically controlled substance in some countries including Canada, Germany, the United Kingdom, and the United States. By contrast, the production, sale, and consumption are legal in the nations where its use is traditional of those cultures, including Djibouti, Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Yemen. Reasons for chewing Khat and behaviors associated with the ritual of Khat chewing. The vast majority of those ingesting Khat do so by chewing. Only a small number ingest it by making a drink from dried leaves, or even more rarely, by smoking dried leaves. The chewer fills his or her mouth with leaves and stalks, and then chews slowly and intermittently to release the active components in the juice, which is then swallowed with saliva. The plant material is chewed into a ball, which is kept for a while in the cheek, causing a characteristic bulge. Khat is a stimulant and it is used to improve performance, stay alert, and increase work capacity. Workers on night shifts use it to stay awake and postpone fatigue. Students have chewed Khat in an attempt to improve mental performance before exams. Yemeni Khat chewers believe that Khat is beneficial for minor ailments such as headaches, colds, body pains, fevers, arthritis, and also depression. Khat chewing usually takes place in groups in a social setting. A session that may last for several hours is filled with cheerfulness, optimism, and a general sense of well-being. Chewing Khat is both a social and a culture-based activity. It is said to enhance social interaction, playing a role in ceremonies such as weddings. In Yemen, Muslims are the most avid chewers. Some believe that chewing facilitates contact with Allah when praying. However, many Christians and Yemenite Jews in Israel also chew Khat. Popularity and uses. An estimated 5 to 10 million people globally use Khat on a daily basis. It is grown principally by communities in the Horn of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, where Khat chewing has a long history as a social custom dating back thousands of years. The traditional form of Khat chewing in Yemen involves only male users. Khat chewing by females is less formal and less frequent. Researchers estimate about 70 to 80% of Yemenis between 16 and 50 years old chew Khat, at least on occasion. Approximately 60 to 90% of male and 35% of female Yemenis chew Khat daily. Before Yemeni unification in 1990, Khat chewing was largely confined to the northwest mountains of the country, where Khat grows. Yemenis spend an estimated 14.6 million man-hours per day chewing Khat. Researchers have also estimated that families spend about 17% of their income on Khat. Traditionally, Khat is used as a socializing drug, as in Yemen, where Khat chewing is predominantly a male habit. Khat is so popular in Yemen that its cultivation consumes much of the country's agricultural resources. An estimated 40% of Yemen's water supply goes towards irrigating it, with production increasing by about 10% to 15% every year. One daily bag of khat requires an estimated 500 liters, 130 US gal, of water to produce. Water consumption is high and groundwater levels in the Sana'a Basin are diminishing, so government officials have proposed relocating large portions of the population of Sana'a to the coast of the Red Sea. One reason for the widespread cultivation of khat in Yemen is the high income that it provides for farmers. Some studies done in 2001 estimated that the income from cultivating khat was about 2.5 million Yemeni rials per hectare, while fruits brought only 0.57 million rials per hectare. Between 1970 and 2000, the area on which khat was cultivated was estimated to have grown from 8,000 to 103,000 hectares. In 2000, according to a World Bank estimate, khat accounted for 30% of Yemen's economy. More recently, in 2019, reports indicate that child soldiers in Yemen have been chewing khat in order to remain alert on the battlefield. Effects: khat consumption induces mild euphoria and excitement, similar to that conferred by strong coffee. Individuals become very talkative under the influence of the plant. Animal testing has shown that khat causes an increase in motoric activity. The effects of oral administration of cathinone occur more rapidly than the effects of amphetamine pills, roughly 15 minutes. Khat consumptions include short-term effects such as alertness, arousal, concentration, confidence, euphoria, friendliness, increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, sleeplessness, suppressed appetite, talkativeness. History. According to some sources, khat was first grown in Ethiopia, with the explorer Sir Richard Burton suggesting the plant was later introduced to Yemen from Ethiopia in the 15th century. He specifically mentions the eastern city of Harar as the birthplace of the plant. However, amongst communities in the Horn of Africa, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Somalia, and the Arabian Peninsula, khat chewing has a long history as a social custom dating back thousands of years. Ancient Egyptian imperial cults considered the khat plant a sacred substance, which was capable of realizing a user's divinity. These early Egyptians consumed the plant ceremoniously in attempts to transcend into apotheosis and/or garner and manifest mystical experiences, systemic trances, and other metaphysical experiences rather than habitual recreational use or abuse. Sufis also used it to intensify their mystical experience and to facilitate a sense of union with God. The earliest known documented description of khat is found in the Kitab al-Sad al-Afi. Al-Tib Kitab al-Sidilt fi Ili, an 11th century work on pharmacy and materia medica written by Abu Rayhan al-Biruni, a Persian scientist and biologist. Unaware of its origins, al-Biruni wrote that khat is a commodity from Turkestan. It is sour to taste and slenderly made in the manner of batanalu. But khat is reddish with a slight blackish tinge. It is believed that batanalu is red, coolant, relieves biliousness, and is a refrigerant for the stomach and the liver. In 1854, Malay author Abdullah bin Abdul Qadir noted that the custom of chewing khat was prevalent in Al-Hudaydah in Yemen. You observed a new peculiarity in this city: everyone chewed leaves as goats chew the cud. There is a type of leaf, rather wide and about 2 fingers in length, which is widely sold, as people would consume these leaves just as they are. Unlike betel leaves, which need certain condiments to go with them, these leaves were just stuffed fully into the mouth and munched. Thus, when people gathered around, the remnants from these leaves would pile up in front of them. When they spat, their saliva was green. I then queried them on this matter: what benefits are there to be gained from eating these leaves? To which they replied, none whatsoever, it's just another expense for us as we've grown accustomed to it. Those who consume these leaves have to eat lots of ghee and honey, for they would fall ill otherwise. The leaves are known as cod. In 1856, English writer Charles Dickens also described the custom of khat chewing in the Horn region and the adjacent Gulf territories, likening it to drinking strong green tea. And one may sleep well if, during the day, too much khat has not been chewed. The leaves of the drug called khat are the chief source of pleasurable excitement in these districts of East Africa. Botanists, taking the native name for the plant, turn it into catha edulis, eatable khat. It is much used by the Arabs, to whom it is sent in camel loads, consisting of a number of small parcels, each containing about 40 slender twigs, with the leaves attached, carefully wrapped so as to avoid exposure to the air. These leaves are chewed and act upon the spirits of those using them, much as a strong dose of green tea acts upon us in Europe, when it acts agreeably. Europeans used to stronger stimulants are little affected by the use of khat, but among the more temperate Arabs it is so welcome a provocative to good humor, that about 280 camel loads of it are used every year in Aden only. Nowadays khat consumption is limited to East Africa and southwestern Arabia. These countries include Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, include Somaliland, Uganda, and Yemen. The author Yusuf al-Zarani writes in his book, "The plant is native to the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa. Despite its native grounds, it is only legal in one of the several countries of the Arabian Peninsula, Yemen. The plant, however, is widely available and legal in East Africa. Some African nations, on the other hand, such as South Africa, consider it as a protected species. The plant is mostly used by East Africans and Southwest Arabians, rarely by people from other places." Following a ban on khat in the British-governed Aden Protectorate, the QAT Commission of Inquiry in Aden concluded, QAT does not create an addiction, like opium or hashish, in that those who are suddenly deprived of it, do not suffer physical consequences. In Kenya, there has been a recent trend of people consuming the plant in juice form. Khat juice, locally known as haba juice, has been the go-to drink for many individuals who want to bypass the hassle of chewing the plant. It gets you the same desired effects, while eradicating some of the side effects that come with chewing. People enjoy it in the nightlife vicinities as it's a stimulant and appetite suppressant that increases alertness, sexual potency, and alcohol drinking capacity. Although still a new trend, it is yet to be available in supermarkets and kiosks. However, companies like Handa's Juice are pushing the mantle of making haba juice a staple in the Kenyan community, and hopefully an exported product.